As we continue into mid-March and now eventually going into the later half of March, our snow depth countrywide is really starting to dwindle quite a bit. In fact, really the only decent snow depth right now outside of the Rocky Mountains is across parts of South Dakota and parts of southwestern and central parts of Minnesota from that recent snow system that we had early on in the week up across North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota. Hardly any snow at all left on the ground except for areas along and south of I-94, just a few patches here or there that likely will dissipate here in the next week or so. And again, down across parts of South Dakota and parts of northwestern tier of Nebraska. Still a little bit of snow on the ground, but I do expect this map to really dwindle the snow depth here as we go throughout the next 1 to 2 weeks. And I know a lot of folks asking, when is our last snowflakes done falling from the sky? Are we done just yet? Well, if we base it on the data overall, our average last snowfall across the central and northern plains happens around early to middle April, but the record latest, 28th of May in Duluth, 24th, the record latest in May in Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, 18th of May for that record latest snowfall. Grand Forks, Fargo, North Dakota coming in at the end of May as well. Minot, one of the last locations here, and unfortunately for the northern plains for the record latest, June 3rd. Hopefully that does not happen this year, and it doesn't look like that trend will continue. Again, we've had a mild spring, and that trend looks to continue. Here's a look at our March 10th through the 16th precipitation overall from this past week. Again, not a whole lot of moisture for areas that really could use it across the northern tier of the Dakotas here, with only 1/10 of an inch of moisture at best here. Meanwhile, that system off to the south of the central plains, Denver up around Casper, Wyoming, picking up some much needed moisture anywhere from that 2 to 4 inch mark, and overall that's still leading to drought conditions across a good chunk of the plains and Four Corners, still dealing with that severe drought out across the western parts of the Dakotas. And meanwhile, again, Denver up towards Casper, that moisture did help across some of the areas across the Denver and Casper area as far as those drought conditions are concerned with that recent system. Precipitation outlook March 20th through the 27th. Overall, we will see some moisture sneaking its way in here, but a small chance of moisture for the central and northern plains here as we go throughout this last full week of March. And overall, temperatures are going to stay somewhat mild. We're going to see the northern jet dipping down just a little bit here and there, and that'll bring some cooler temperatures at times. We're talking cooler temperatures, meaning highs only into those 40s, lower 50s. Meanwhile, it's 50s and 60s for the central and southern plains, and this trend looks to kind of continue as we finish out this last full week of March. And as we head into the last few days of March and into the first week in April here, overall dry conditions are going to continue across the plains and western with very small chances of moisture through mid-April.